I'm not really working on anything very exciting today, but I did have something exciting happen. There's really not a lot to photograph. We've talked about that in the last couple of videos. It's January, not a lot going on. I think there's only two things that are really happening. One is people who spent their budgets at the end of the year are having things done now that they spent the money for last year. So there are things being constructed and being built and people going places and doing things with last year's money from their budgets. The other thing that's happening is it's a New Year's budget, and the things that people couldn't get done in last year's budget because they'd already spent it, they're doing it in this year's budget. So I'll find stuff every now and then and have that conversation with the contractors, and it's kind of funny. So I'm sure that one of the things I shot today is that way. I'll link to it down below. It's people putting up signs. We'll see what it looks like. I don't think it's going to be great, but it is interesting. The other thing I did is I went back to where they're working on the police station. I shot some video yesterday, and I really wasn't satisfied because I'd used a small card. I had a 4 gig card instead of the 64, 128 gig card. And the problem with that is not only was it small in that it was only a 4 gig, it was a really slow card. And I had some problems with being able to write to the card the longer files. So I went back to do some more of that today. They weren't doing the same thing, but they were doing something else. And I did some video on that with my new iPhone. I just got the 12 Pro Max. I had a good time with that. We'll see what that looks like. I also shot some stills with it just to test out the new Pro RAW that they're using. That's going to be kind of fun to play with. But the most exciting thing that happened to me is that a guy come up to me. Don't know how old he is. He's probably early 20s. A guy come up to me and says, "Hey, I see you all over the place." And I said, "Yeah, I am all over the place." He said, "You remember me?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "You remember the barns up off of Tussock and Maxtown?" "I remember the barns up at Tussock and Maxtown." And he said, "That's me." And I said, "You're the kid that was riding on the snowmobiles after the heavy snow, riding in and around the barns." And he said, "Yep, that was me." And I said, "I've never seen that happen since that day." And God, that had to be 10, 12 years ago. So he's got to be in his probably late 20s, early 30s. I'm just guessing. So we had a nice conversation about what I do. And he asked me what I was doing there today. And I said, "Well, what's really interesting is exactly what we were talking about on the pictures of you on the snowmobile." I said, "I'm always looking for something that I haven't seen before. And I haven't seen you doing that again, even though I go by. And every time I go out, I'm always looking for something that I've never seen before." And he said, "Well, we saw you yesterday. We wondered what you were doing." So I pulled out the phone and showed them my drone picture from yesterday. It's linked in yesterday's video. It was my final photo. I showed them my drone picture and said, "This is the sort of thing that I'm after." I guarantee you nobody has ever seen that photo before. Not just that photo, but that scene, that view of what was going on. And I said, that's what I really do when I go out to make photographs every day, is I'm looking for something I haven't seen before or something I've seen before that looks different for some reason. And he said, "I like that idea. I like that idea." And I said, what's really important is that in translating what I see to something visual, I get to show it to people. And if I haven't seen it before, and I've seen an awful lot of stuff in all the years I've been alive and making photographs, if I haven't seen it before, more than likely anybody who looks at the picture has never seen it before. They've certainly never seen it the way I saw it on that specific moment when I shot the picture. When I begin to make photographs, I'm always trying to find something unique for me. If it's unique for me, it'll be unique for you. And when you go to make photographs, you should be doing the same thing. Trying to find something that's unique. Don't make it a copy of something you've done before. Don't make it a copy of someone else's work you've seen. You might want to be like the old adage about artists, about the artist steal. And what they're really not doing is they're stealing. What they're doing is they're taking their knowledge of what they've seen and they're applying it to their view of the world. And that's what you need to do with your photographs. I've seen a lot of photographs that are nothing more than people knowing where to stand because they've seen people stand there before. What you need to do is to find a different place to stand. Find a different way of seeing the things you've seen before. You need to find something that you can see in a way it's never been seen before and make that photograph and then show it to people. And that's what people are going to want to see. And that's what you're going to be known for. That's what people love from me, is because they see things in a different way that they see every day. I'm going to go home now. I've had my day. I shot with my new iPhone, shot some video, did some great things. Going to see what that's going to look like. Going to ask you to do the YouTube thing. I'm going to ask you to subscribe and like and comment and share. I won't say any more than that. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope to be able to find some more stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't have anything really scheduled for tomorrow. Not sure what's going on tomorrow. I'll have to look and see. But I'll shoot tomorrow. I promise. And I'll be back in a minute. I promise. All right. I'm going to see who this guy is that was staring at me. He's coming this way again.